Damn. Cooler and a flyer too.
What's up, A1 family? Welcome back to the show that's cooler and flyer too. A1 Forever Sports. You already know Chris Tip Moore. Why settle for less when you can have more with the vision? Back with part 2 of my Atlanta Hawks breakdown of their season, their schedule. Back at you once again, like I said I would. Also got some other things coming up for you later on today. So stay tuned for that. It'll be popping up and you'll be like, oh man, that's what he's doing today. So yeah, got that. Look forward to that. But the Hawks start the new year with 15 games in January. But 10 of those games are on the road, but only 5 come against teams that was in the play-in or playoffs last year. In this 15-game stretch, you meet the defending champions for the first time. And then you also will see the Lakers again after you just seen them back in at the end of December. You have the Clippers on your books twice in January, so you get them on out the way. On ESPN, you will have the Heat on MLK Day before going to Dallas. So you're going to play the Heat and immediately go straight to Dallas. After that showdown, you have the Knicks, the Bulls, and you get to see Chet Holmgren and the Thunder before you seeing Dame Lillard and company at month's end. I don't know exactly what the Hawks did to deserve this January schedule. And listen, I'm not saying that other teams don't have tough schedules and everything, because I believe the Hawks have like a 14-day rest advantage or something like that in between and all that too. So outside November, and I'm going with January right now as being the 2 months to where the Hawks really have to lock in the most. Don't get me wrong, we're going to go over the other months as well and the importance of it. But these 2 months right here, just because of the road and the opponents and everything into and where everybody will probably be sitting by then, pretty important, man, pretty pivotal, like I said, for the Hawks to be able to overcome these road stretches, because they having games boom, 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 boom on the road like that. Chemistry, conditioning, and all that just going to play a part into all of this. But of course, if they can apply themselves, play as a team, stay healthy, the sky's the limit still for the Hawks. So just talking about the Hawks and what they're dealing with, like I said, not saying other teams don't have things they have to go through as well. But moving on to February now, it's the All-Star game weekend, and where Trey and DeJounte will both be All-Stars. Yep, I'm speaking into existence right now. Them two guys are going to be able to click so well as the best backcourt in the league. And also, I believe that both of them will be all-stars. Whether both of them will be starters, I'm not quite sure, but I believe both of them will make the all-star team this year. Yes, that's going to happen for Atlanta. But moving on, February starts off a little rough as well, too, as the Hawks begin a 4-game road trip. That includes the likes of the Nuggets, the Suns, the Jazz, and the Pelicans. All playoff teams last year. Before we come back home to play the Suns yet again. So you're going to get the Suns real quick right there and get them out the way. We also, of course, get the pesky Knicks before All-Star break. When we come back, we have to see the Wizards, who I'm interested to see how they're going to be this year. Brad Beal back. They made a few moves, in the offseason. I want to see what the Wizards are going to look like as a full team now, before I consider them being any kind of contender or anything. They could be at the bottom for all we know. But, same thing can go for the Nets as well. Kevin Durant situation, we still don't know. Ben Simmons, your guess is as good as mine. And then just the rest of the team, Curry, Patty, and just the rest of the guys. So we'll see how that goes for them. But we have the Nets and the Wizards at the month's end. By this time, also, the trade deadline will have been come and gone, and we'll see what teams have improved and which teams are looking forward to the future in order to get better. Now let's talk about a few matchups. The Suns and the Hawks matchup will be good because I believe both teams are somewhat similar, even though I do feel like the Hawks have the overall better big man. I know Aiden can shoot and shoot better free throws and stuff like that, but I'm just talking about as far as being able to contribute to the team in his role. I believe I'll give just a slight nudge to Clint Capella, not being a homer or anything. I believe, Trey will be able to get in the lane, and then having DeJounte is a whole nother element as well that you have Devin Booker to have to deal with, and they have to deal with each other, of course, on the other end. But I'm really interested to see that matchup. So have to wait until the March for it to happen, February for it to happen. But it's going down, and I'm really looking forward to that matchup, as last year's matchup between the Hawks and the Suns were very thrilling, both matchups. I definitely can't wait to see the Pelicans, who I said should have Zion back. I believe Coach Willie Green will have this young team playing pretty well. Brandon Ingram is going to be a problem, and he'll probably possibly be an all-star as well. Moving on, I want to move on to March, because March looks like strenuous work as well. The Hawks have a few back-to-back games with the Heat and the Wizards. More road trips, of course. You get the Celtics, the Timberwolves, and the Warriors again at home. But after that stretch, you will play the Timberwolves yet again for the second time. Seeing that new, long, lengthy, so I've seen a stat about those guys and their wingspan now, with Rudy Gobert, and now having Cat moving down to the 4. And, all those other guys, Ant-Man, he has a nice wingspan as well. I think D'Angelo, he has about the same wingspan or a little bit more than Anthony Edwards. So, them guys, they got long guys, period. So I want to see how they all are going to be able to work together. Cat being able to play the 4, that's going to be interesting, as it's been quite some time since he's been able to do that. So, it's going to be tough to score down there on those guys, man. I really feel like it. Gobert and Cat kind of clogging the lane, but you may have some disadvantages for them on the other end as well. We'll see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to the Grizzlies and the Nets once again at the end of March. Of course, Ja and Trey, Grizzlies, Hawks, 2 young teams that's on the rise. You already know the Grizzlies. They already coming for the Warriors. That's going to be interesting to see how that goes this season. But at the month, like I said, the end of the month of March, you have those teams. Very important matchups, despite being in the West or not. It's still important matchups because you still want to be able to beat these teams. You always want to be able to beat the good teams. And these games in March will be very crucial as we're winding down to the season, and teams will be jockeying for position, and here we are at the last month of the season. Good old April. Yep, some important matchups here that could really affect the seeding of the Eastern Conference. All depends on, of course, how the rest of the season goes. You meet Dallas for the second time at home, Luka versus Trey. Second meeting, like I said, against them at home. And then you also have the Bulls, the Wizards, the Sixers, and end the season on the road against the Celtics. Very important games here. Every team, all these teams will have championship aspirations. Like I said, we'll see what the Wizards turn out to be, but definitely everyone else should probably be vying for a spot. And also 4 of these 5 teams are in the Eastern Conference, so they're hopefuls. And also every team that you play in April, except for the Wizards, made the playoffs last year. So we're going to see how that goes. It's going to be very important to see how the Hawks respond in the month of April, as hopefully we have already had our spot locked up as far as playoff seeding. But you know how it comes down to the end of the year. I really believe that the Hawks coming into this with a different mindset. They know that last year wasn't it. and they know last year wasn't them. They lost a lot of games they shouldn't have, a lot of games they thought was over and it wasn't, and just a lot of games they didn't put their best foot forward in the effort. So I expect a completely different mindset. You see Trae Young. I know you guys have seen him in the offseason. He is putting in that work. He's consistently on the court. He's not in the clubs. He's not chilling. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you know, he just had his little precious of joy. He's married now, so he's maturing. And I believe it's not only going to help him in life, but it's going to help him on the court as well. You're already seeing it. Murray, he's been hooping. He's been playing in different pro AMs and everything. My thing is those two guys are constantly working, constantly playing ball. Not saying anyone else isn't, but I can only tell you about what I'm seeing. And I'm seeing Trae and I'm seeing Jonte putting in that work on the court, getting more in-game experience as far as just different competition, whether it's light or not. You know, they're still out there running moves against people, getting practice in, trying things out that you're going to be working on for the regular season. Now, I don't want to start rambling, so I'm going to give you a few things before I get up out of here. Just some notable mentions. 3 consecutive home games for the Hawks before going on that road. You know, of course, against the Rockets, you know, you got the Magic and the Charlotte Hornets. So you're going to have 3 consecutive home games. Of course, you're going on the road for quite some time. The Hawks will have 13 set of games that are back-to-backs, including the first ones happening November 9th and 10th, and the final happened April 4th and 5th. The longest break of the season, 8 days between games before and after February 19th, the All-Star game. The Hawks will have about 8 games on ESPN/TNT. Feel like they should have had at least a little bit more, but I guess at this point you just take what you can get. At least they give you some kind of coverage. But definitely I feel like the Christmas game should have been one added, but that's neither here or there anymore. Key matchups this year. We faced divisional opponents 4 times each: Charlotte, Miami, Orlando, and Washington. But yes, sir, this has been the Atlanta Hawks schedule breakdown. You know, just a little simple breakdown. I promise you these will get better. Just trying different elements in my craft to get better, different things I'm trying, finding out things that not only about myself, but about, you know, just the game and the game of sports. You know, go ahead and follow our page. It's a sports page, Utegacy. You will definitely see me on the hardwood and also the gridiron. You see a post made, hashtag Captain Falcon, A1 Forever, hashtag DeJounte, A1 Forever. It's yours truly. So I'm always dealing with something, you know what I'm saying, with sports. Just because I may not be on the channel doesn't mean I'm still not actively involved somewhere else. Just trying to stay busy, you know, dealing with this sports, continuing learning, continuously getting better. That's what it's all about, growth and development, especially in your craft. So, you know, just like I said, just staying relevant and just getting more and more to feel, being more and more of a student of the game and giving the game its proper respect, you know. But that's all for right now. Like I said, stay tuned because I got some exclusive content coming later on. And I really appreciate you guys, man. I'm over 200 subscribers already. Started this channel 3 months ago. And I know it's not 2,000. I know it's not 2 million. But honestly, that's how it feels to me because I appreciate the little things. So please, man, like, subscribe, share, you know what I'm saying? Tell your friends about me. I'm really working on this thing, working hard, diligently all the time, trying to grow the channel and, you know, also put myself out there in the sports world because it's definitely something that I'm definitely interested in. And it's what I wake up for, man, as far as, you know, my interests. So I appreciate everybody once again. Be generational because it's always time to be. Why settle for less when you can have more with a vision? You know, A1 Forever Sports, the show that's cool and fly too. Chris Tip Moore. man, go ahead and will everything you want into existence. Manifestation is very powerful, and you can do it. Anybody. It's not anything, it's not a secret or anything. You can do it. I believe in each and every one of you, and I believe, and and I want to thank you for everyone who subscribed, believing in me and giving me an opportunity to come into your lives and talk sports. So until next time, like I said, peace and blessings, and I'll holler, y'all.
A1. Yeah, truly. Cooler and I'm flyer too. Damn. Cooler and I'm flyer too.